Good morning, good morning, good morning. I believe I need to touch this little thing right here. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. My name is Chef Cheryl Tate. This is the Chefing with Cheryl show, our monthly get-together where we talk about food and health and wellness. This is being brought to you by the LA South Chamber of Commerce. Our nonprofit arm is the LA South Hope Foundation, where we're helping other people every day. I just want to take a minute out to show some appreciation for this platform because we actually are helping other people every day. You know, there's not a day that goes by that we're not eating, and we need to learn how to eat healthy. And one of the ways that we can do that is by cooking for ourselves. Okay, there's really no way around it. Really no way around it. I mean, we do live in a society where we can push a button, we can drive through a drive-through, or we can take some takeout, but something gets lost in there. When you do it yourself, you know, it's an empowering act of you coming in your kitchen, because everybody should have a kitchen, okay? If you're coming into your kitchen and preparing foods for yourself, because you're nurturing yourself, you know, and you're nurturing your family. If you're a mother and you have young children and you've got your husband, you are literally the center of the universe because you are feeding that foundation. Family is the foundation of civilization. So if you're not feeding your family correctly, you're doing yourself a disservice. Don't want to go too far into that, but I just want you to understand that cooking for yourself is important. And having a good pantry is one of the ways that you're going to do it. It's one of the stress-less ways you're going to do it, okay? Because we all like to eat good food. There's so much to eat in this world, so much good food to eat in this world. We're in Southern California. There is no excuse for us not having vegetables every single day. So with that said, this is a continuation of Pantry Basics. We had Pantry Basics back in June, where we went through the basics of what you should have in your pantry. This month, this is a continuation. This is Pantry Basics 2. And this is an add-on because, you know, most people think that, you know, a pantry is a cupboard. No, it's really just the foundation of your pantry. Your whole kitchen plays a part in you eating well. Your whole kitchen, you know, really is your pantry because you're going to come in here and you're going to get out. Okay, so we're going to do just a quick little review, because again, these are things you should have. I'm going to move on to the things that you need to have. Okay, should and need, two different things. Okay, so of course you should have your sugars. You know, I have some agave nectar here that's really good for diabetics because it's low glycemic. I tend to give a lot of information, but work with me because I know you can watch this again and you can come back on this information. But agave nectar is really good for diabetics if they want to sweeten. Honey, should always have honey. Sugar, okay? This is raw sugar. The reason why I use raw sugar, most of the things that I use have color. And I always talk about color in your diet because color is a nutrient of some kind. This is raw sugar. It is brown because there's still the molasses and the nutrients from the sugar cane in this. So whenever I cook, if you're buying something from me, baked goods or whatever, I'm always going to have raw sugar. Okay, so really basic for our things. Vinegars. Of course, you should have your white vinegars and everything. Your oils. A vinegar and an oil is always an instant salad dressing. We tend to go into the grocery stores and we look at the salad dressing aisle. It's long, it's confusing, it's so many flavors. You can do it yourself. You really can do it yourself. But the foundation of making a salad is usually an oil and a fat. Okay, so that's real basic. Okay, and again, I have lots of oils here, and There'll be links at the end of this where you can really get a comprehensive list of the things that you need for your pantry. This is just a little review, okay, before we move on to the other things. Okay, your dry goods. You know, most of us have a box of Jiffy. I like to have Miss Lottie's cornbread. We're going to talk about chamber just for 2 seconds. Miss Lottie's cornbread. Wonderful, wonderful product. If you are a member of the chamber or you are familiar with our chamber, please look it up. Coffee. Wonderful coffee. That's another story. Coffee and tea are things that you should have in your pantry. Okay, because you want to get up in the morning, you want to have a cup of coffee, it's nighttime, you want to have a cup of tea that you can sweeten with honey or agave. See how that works? See how that works when you got your pantry stocked and you have everything that you need? Okay. Dry goods, okay? Oats, just like cornmeal, dried fruits, cranberries, oatmeal, cranberries in the morning for breakfast. Okay. One of the things of having a good pantry is you don't have to think hard for what it is you're going to have for breakfast. You don't have to step out and go buy a Danish. You can make you some oatmeal with some dried fruit in it. Very, very smart, very, very nutritious. You're empowering yourself. Okay. So, and of course, nut butters. Nut butters. Where would your pantry be without peanut butter or an almond butter? And again, being a culinary professional, I have tahini, which is ground sesame seed, which is really a foundation for hummus. So, you know, that comes on this part of the on the spectrum of things that you need in your pantry. Things you should have, things you need. But I should always have some tahini, which is again a ground seed. Okay, peanut butter is great for you to have in your pantry. Almond butter is great for you to have in your pantry. Any type of nut butter is good that you can put on a piece of bread and you can eat. Necessarily a bread person, because this is Southern California. So I'm gonna reach back here real quick. Oops, ouch, excuse me, sorry. But I'm a tortilla person. We live in Southern California. So this is my form of bread. Flour or corn. It can keep a little longer than bread, but I find that this works for me. Okay, we do live in Southern California, so we are around a Hispanic influence. So we tend to go in that way as far as what we eat because it's so readily available. It's not bad if you eat it correct. You know, if you eat it, if you think about it in a healthy way. So hey, peanut butter, flour tortilla, corn tortilla, really, really wonderful. Really works wonderful. Works wonderful. Okay. So again, like I said, your pantry is your whole kitchen. It's not just something that is a cupboard. Okay. We talked about canned goods. We can't talk about canned goods enough. You can definitely refer to our first video to get the foundation of what I mean by having canned goods, because we really can never have enough canned goods. We should have 2 sets. Okay. But please go back and watch the video. That's great. Okay. So, you know, grocery shopping, yes, you're going to have a pantry, but you're going to be going to the grocery store because you need produce. Okay. I was in another country and we were cooking and the kitchens were very small. So you really only had enough for your basics, but for your meats and your produce, you had to go to the town to buy it. Okay. So you will be going to the grocery store at some point in your having your pantry and cooking for yourself and cooking for your family. So these are some things that I think you should always have in your pantry. And once you buy them, of course, you're going to use them. And that is potatoes. Okay. You can always have a baked potato at one point, you can use it. Potatoes are so versatile. You just can't lose with a potato. Again, here's a sweet potato. you can't lose with a sweet potato. You know, it's a meal by itself. Very nutritious, very nutritious. This is a natural source of estrogen. Okay, so, you know, if us women just ate sweet potatoes or yams, you know, it would really help our health in that manner. Okay, onions. We can never have enough onions. Okay, I'm an onion garlic person when I cook. So if I am cooking something, best believe there's going to be some onions and some garlic in my food. The two root vegetables, they're very nutritious. I cannot expound on the benefits of having this in your food. Very, very important. I would say staple, yes, staple that you should have in your refrigerator. Cucumbers. Cucumbers are awesome. This is part of the squash family. It is watermelon's cousin. I can't tell you enough about it. Very hydrating, very good for your salad. Very good to just eat. It's good to just have a cucumber in the refrigerator, and you need something really cool to eat in this hot weather. Really good with a little vinaigrette that you've made. Okay, can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Okay, and again, I want you to be excited. I want you to be excited about going in your kitchen and cooking. Okay, this is wonderful. I know we watch those cooking shows. We get excited when we see all that food. Oh, I gotta watch the Food Channel. Oh, I like Bobby Flay because I like Bobby Flay too. Giada, all of them. They're cooking. They're doing everything. You can do it too, because trust me, you know, they've been doing it a long time. I've been doing this a long time. So with practice comes perfection. And again, we're eating. Okay, so, you know, unless you burn it and tear it up, you can still eat it. It's good. It's wonderful. Okay, so your freezer. No, I'm not going to talk about freezer. Let's talk about dairy. Okay, because, you know, when I talk about butter, it is something that we always use. Of course, it's a staple that we're going to have in our repertoire, because again, remember I talked about breakfast with your oats and your cranberries, you got your butter in there and your dairy. It's coming along. It's coming along. Dairy, okay? So, and we should always have some cheese in our pantry, okay? Again, we are in Southern California. If you can make a taco, you can make an enchilada, you can make quesadillas with tortillas, cheese, potato, onion. That sounds real good. That sounds real simple, okay? Okay, wow. I'm sorry, I forgot about Mr. Avocado. Okay, avocado is a great, well, they call it a fruit, but I'm gonna call it a vegetable for right now. It's a great item to have in your kitchen. It's very good. The possibilities are endless what one can do with an avocado. So I would always suggest having one in your pantry. And of course, these are perishables. So we want to use them. We need to use them. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. We need to use them. Coming into your kitchen, utilizing your pantry, you have to utilize everything here for success. Everything here for success. Okay, so I'm going to go to dairy to freezer, and I'm going to come back to fruit. Okay, so, but in your freezer should be a good arsenal also. Okay, what I have in my freezer is frozen fruit. Really good for smoothies, okay? Again, we don't have to go to Jamba Juice. You know, if we have all these appliances in our on our counter, a blender, or air fryer, anything, we can use these things to our advantage. So, frozen fruit, you can't do without it, Frozen orange juice concentrate. Maybe you don't want to drink, you know, your orange juice every day. Maybe you just want a little bit. You can make a little bit at a time and still put this back in your freezer. So it's a convenient way, you know, because, you know, Minute Maid, all those, excuse me, I hate to talk about the brand, but they can be pretty pricey. So if you were to use frozen orange juice concentrate as an as needed basis, that would be a good way of cutting down on that particular cost of that item. Okay. Now, again, we're talking about your freezer. Now, these are things that can stay in there, for a month or two at a time, but still you need to pull it out and use it, like these things here. Okay, so here I have some chicken sausage, which is really good. Seasoning for your greens. Remember I had greens last time? I have greens growing in my garden. Okay, well, goodness. Here's your seasoning for your greens right here. Chicken sausage, can't go wrong, okay? Now, I'm fortunate enough to have a person that I buy my meat from, and this is salmon. It's wild cut salmon. I'm not going to cut it open, but this is, remember how it came in the butcher paper? This is how it comes. It comes off the boat, they fillet it, wrap it, freeze it, and this is how I get my salmon. So it's always good to have some proteins in your freezer, because you can always pull them out, thaw them, and cook them, okay? Just like the chicken sausage. We have wild caught salmon. And here's a favorite of mine. It's a favorite. I can't go wrong with this. And this is boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Boneless, skinless chicken breasts go a long way in everything that you're eating, okay? Because you can easily prepare it, cut it, put it in whatever it is that you're making, casserole, pasta, what have you. Or you can just cook it and have it by itself with some vegetables and, and a starch. Okay, very, very simple. But these are things that are staples in my kitchen. This is something that stays in my freezer. When I get a little low, I'm gonna pull it out, use it, go back and get some more. But it's really good, really good. Again, I want you to be efficient in the kitchen. And maybe you're not a chicken breast person. They do have boneless, skinless thighs for dark meat people that, want that different, a different choice, or any kind of frozen chicken. This one just happens to be, it's easy for me. It's an easy brand. I like it. So you're going to develop your likes and dislikes of what things you want in your freezer. Because again, these are just guidelines for you to go around, because I want you to feel good about what you have in your pantry, okay? Because it is your pantry. So this is something, and again, a pantry is something that everybody has. I came across a little reminder here of a pantry. It's a cute little, iconic thing of yesteryear, but I's gotta get, okay? But the things that she has on this list from the 30s and the 40s, apples, bread, cereal, cinnamon, coffee, crackers, are things that we have, and I'm talking about in your pantry. So it's an age-old thing for cooking success. For cooking success. Okay. Now, again, we should go to the grocery store at least maybe once a week, if not maybe every 10 days, depending on how you're eating and how you're cooking. Okay. But I find that having herbs are just wonderful. They're just wonderful to have in your refrigerator and freezer. Of course, you got to use them. You have to use them because they don't last long. Okay, here's some beautiful cilantro. So here I go. We have chicken, cheese, tortillas, avocado. I see a taco. I see quesadillas. We're hitting all our food groups. Okay. It's interesting how this is coming together. Okay. Here's some basil that I had purchased, and it went bad really quickly, even as soon as I pulled it out of the package, even though I'm trying to keep it fresh as much as I can, but we're still going to use it. We're still going to use it. Okay. So, I'm getting around to where I'm going here. Thank you. So, bell peppers, I have this cut up because I have some cut up here for what it is that I'm doing. So in the line of produce, let me come back to here for a second. Produce, here I have my onion that's, that's whole, but I'm always chopping or cutting something up. So I have, my onion that's chopped up already. And here I have it, bell peppers and onions chopped up, because of course I'm always cooking. So sometimes I like being efficient and having this already chopped for the next thing that I'm going to do. Okay, so that's where you build your efficiency. Okay, because when you have all these things these items in your arsenal, when you have all these items in your kitchen, again, if I can come back to that, that's very empowering. Okay, that gives you a sense of, well, if I can do this, I can do that. Okay, and I can say this from experience, because being a culinary professional, yes, you learn that, but just coming up and raising my family, I did find that having a stock pantry really helped me get along. No, my culinary profession came later. When I was cooking for my family, I had to make sure I had everything in my kitchen. So it was kind of like a transition for me to saying, okay, well, you can get better. You can get better about having your prep, by having everything in place. Okay, so we're going to do just a little bit of cooking here with everything that we have. All right, so this is summer. Okay, and we're so fortunate in Southern California that we get fresh produce that is not as expensive as the rest of the country. We should be the healthiest people on the planet. Okay, I mean, we should, with fruit stands on the corner. We're not going to talk about the fruit guy being in front of the fast food place. Okay, that might be a little confusing, but it's something that as I drive through Los Angeles, I tend to see. Okay, there's a fruit vendor right there selling the melon and the pineapple and everything, and there's a Burger King about maybe 20 feet away. So we are, we have choices. We have choices. So I want us to make the right choices, or the better choices, because these things will be around us. But if you think about what you have in your pantry, if you think about how well your pantry's stocked, if you say, oh gosh, let me get home because I saw this thing on TV with some boneless, skinless chicken breast, man, you can get excited and you can go home and you can say, I can do that. Okay. So, I want us to get excited about food. Okay, because we're going to be eating and we need to eat well. All right. I can't get around that. Okay, so here's some nectarines. Okay, I love recipes. I love coming across beautiful things to eat. We're going to make a quick nectarine salad. Okay, with everything that we have here. Okay, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to take my my nectarine. I'm just going to give it a rough chop. And, I look at recipes every single day, and I always look for a fruit recipe, because, fruit is so great. And especially in the summer, we're just so fortunate to have all these items here at our disposal. We really need to take full advantage of everything that we have in our arsenal. And I'm going to say this because, being in Southern California, it is a bit pricey. It is a bit pricey. I mean, food prices can just be awfully, awfully high. So, I would make a suggestion, and there's a store in Lakewood. It's called Winco. And your food dollar really goes a lot further. Everything that you see here, I probably got from there. As you can see from the cheese here, it is from Winco. It is a store brand. Here is my frozen fruit, my frozen berries and everything. That came from Winco also. There might be something else here that is a store brand. Oh, excuse me. The cooking oil, the vegetable oil. So, I would invite you to go there and look for yourself and see how far your food dollar goes, because, you know, we have to eat. I know we drive and everything, but we have to eat. And to go in some grocery stores and look at the prices, oh my gosh, I don't know. It can be very discouraging. I'll put it that way. It can be very discouraging because prices are so high. It's just it's you know, I'm kind of speechless sometimes because you know, in my line of work, you know, this is what I have to do. I have to go and buy food. I have to, you know, look at prices. I have to, you know, compare items, compare quality. So, you know, in my travels of going through grocery stores, I would say that this place is your food dollar goes further. Okay, so here we have our beautiful nectarines. We're just going to cut them up real quick. Now, I have some onions and some bell peppers. Again, it's one of my standard operating procedure for Cheryl, for Chef Cheryl, to put this in her food. Okay, so here we have nectarines, bell pepper, onions, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of this cucumber here because I have it. Okay. And what better thing to put in a nice summer salad than some more summer vegetables? Okay, you can't lose. You just really can't lose. Okay. So I'm gonna reach in here and get a spoon real quick because I'm not a person that likes seeds in my cucumbers. It's a preference. It's a preference. So, okay. So I'm just going to cut up my cucumber real quick. And this is fun. I'm already hungry. I'm already hungry. I haven't had my breakfast. I've had my coffee. But this is a great breakfast too. It's a great breakfast. Full of vegetables, full of hydration. Very good. Okay. Now, here I have my herbs here. I like basil, and I'm going to use some of this basil here. You know, I'm going to be using it at some point during the day, even though it's a little wilted. It's going to go in a salad. It's going to go in something today. It's going to get used. It's going to get used. Okay. So basil, I love basil. It's just something about the smell. And again, it's an herb. It's a green. It's healthy. It's healthy. I cannot tell you enough about your herbs. Your herbs. Your basil is just awesome in your Italian foods. It's really good for everything. It's really beautiful. And also cilantro. Now, cilantro, you know, is used in a lot of Hispanic food, a lot of Asian food. Cilantro, I can't say this enough. Cilantro is really good for cleaning heavy metals out of your system. So, you know, we live in a toxic environment. You know, we're breathing a lot of pollutants out of the air, and we live in Southern California. It's a car place. So we're breathing exhausts and we're breathing those things in, and our body is taking it in. Cilantro is a great cleanser of that. You know, knowing that, I'd be eating cilantro every single day. Okay. I would. Matter of fact, we're going to put just a couple of leaves in our salad. Just a couple, just for good measure. Okay. Because you can never have enough greens. We can just never have enough greens in our lives. Okay. I speak of greens. It's because it's something that we should always have in our lives. Okay. So here we have nectarines, cucumber, red onion. Remember I said I like color, red onion, and bell pepper. Okay, so here we're going to go over here to our vinegars, our oils and our vinegars. Okay, so I'm going to be creative and use red wine vinegar. Okay, so we're just going to use a little bit. We're just going to use maybe half a teaspoon. Okay, and we're going to use olive oil. Now, I do have other oils here. I have a coconut oil. I have a sesame oil, which is really good for Asian cooking. But your standard should be olive oil, a good brand of olive oil too. Okay, you can't go wrong with olive oil because we know it from ancient times, from biblical times, that it's good for you. Okay, and some things don't change. So we just need to stick to what we know is good. Okay, olive oil is great. Okay, so we're just going to use just maybe a half a teaspoon, just like we did the red wine vinegar. I'm just going to give it a toss here. Okay. It just smells so good. The basil and the cilantro are making it happen here, making it happen. Okay. Wow. Wow. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Now, look, great. We've got the start of dinner because here we have a salad. No, we could roast us some boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Okay. You know, and hey, we could make some cornbread. Oh my God. There's dinner. That's right there. Okay. So I cannot impress to you the importance of having this in your kitchen. This is a marathon, as Nipsey would say, our beloved Nipsey Hussle. This is a marathon. This isn't something that's going to come overnight. There will be links at the end of this, at the bottom, for you to click on for lists of pantry items, because we can go big, we can go small, but one thing we have to do is we have to at least try. Okay, we should have these things in our kitchen. We should look for these things in our kitchen. If you have any trouble, if you have any questions, please, you can reach out to me. You know, this is what I do because I want us to eat better. I want us to live better, because as entrepreneurs, your health is your wealth. And if you're not eating correctly, how can you make good decisions about your business? If you're not eating correctly, how can you perform 100%, 500%, whatever it is, whatever level you need to be at? You need to be at your optimum. And by doing that, you have to take care of yourself. And by doing that, it might mean that you have to cook for yourself, okay? Or your mate cook for you. But make sure that you can see all these things that are going on in your kitchen. You can come in, you can be inquisitive. Oh, wow, look at all these things that are going on. It empowers you. I cannot tell you enough how much that empowers you, okay? So one thing I would like to do is give a plug to our sponsor, which is California Mentor. They are a member of our Chamber of Commerce. They are sponsors to our show. Their link will be down at the bottom of the video, so you can refer to them. They're an awesome organization. They can tell you more about it because she can tell you about it. Thank you. But I hope that you have gained one thing from this show, just one thing. And again, it's on Zoom, it's on YouTube. You can always come back and refer, okay? Because one of the things that I have found is consistency is key, okay? I consistently look for ways I can eat better. I consistently look for ways I can teach people to eat better, okay? And one way of doing that is you having a good pantry, okay? So my name is Chef Cheryl Tate. This is the Chefing with Cheryl show. This is brought to you by the LA South Chamber of Commerce and our nonprofit arm, which is the LA South Hope Foundation. And hope means helping other people every day. My name is Chef Cheryl Tate, and I am with Nurturing Chefs Personal Chef Services. And I am a proud member. I am the Health and Wellness Director of the Hope Foundation. And on our health and wellness team, we have awesome members that are on board with health and wellness. We have water, we have nurse practitioners, we have wonderful people on our chamber, and we're about health and wellness. I'm just one section of it. So please check us out. Please Look us up online. We're there. We're active. We're not your average chamber. Thank you so much for being here. I look for you next month, which will be live at Willowbrook Senior Center. It will be a lunch and learn. Every other month, we will be online with some really interesting information that you can take and use every day. My name is Chef Cheryl Tate, and again, I thank you so much for your time. It has been an honor and a privilege, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.